This weekend, several politicians were heard saying the quiet part out loud. There was this about Democrats from Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville.
They're pro-crime. They want crime. They want crime because they want to take over what you got. They want to control what you have. They want reparation because they think the people that do the crime are owed that.
At a different rally, Georgia's Marjorie Taylor Greene decided to promote the racist Great Replacement theory.
Joe Biden's 5 million illegal aliens are on the verge of replacing you, replacing your jobs, and replacing your kids in school. And coming from all over the world, they're also replacing your culture. And that's not great for America.
In the Pennsylvania governor's race, Republican Doug Mastriano is facing backlash for veiled anti-Semitic comments about the Jewish day school attended by his opponent. Then there is the artist once known as Kanye West. He has been temporarily banned from Twitter and Instagram for his threatening and anti-Semitic posts. And in California, several Democratic LA City Council members were forced to apologize after the LA Times obtained audio of their racist comments during a closed-door meeting. Today, the president of the council resigned from her leadership post. We welcome Brittany Cooper, Associate Professor of Women's and Gender Studies, also Africana Studies at Rutgers University, and Gustavo Arellano, a columnist for the LA Times. Brittany, we could talk for an hour about any single one of these stories, but when you look at them in the aggregate and the fact that they have all come to light over the course of a single weekend, what does that tell you about the moment we find ourselves in?
It tells me, Alicia, that the Republican Party is running on a platform of unbridled racism. Essentially, what they are saying is that they have nothing to offer to the American people in the way of economics, in the way of social programs, in the way of dealing with real kind of bread and butter issues. And so what they are doing is appealing to their base and saying, well, the Democrats might be trying to help you with student loans. The Democrats might be trying to help you with any number of other things. But, but they're doing it for everybody. That doesn't include you. And what we can offer you is this simple truth. You're still white. And being a white person should matter in the world, and it shouldn't be overtaken by people of color and their very legitimate concerns about an ever-narrowing democracy. That is really dangerous rhetoric, and we should not let them off the hook for the way in which they are also stoking violence as a way to reinforce their message. It is very deliberate. We have the cautionary tale of January 6th. They know what can happen from this rhetoric, and at this point, it is wholly irresponsible for them to continue to do it. And so they are doing it deliberately, and they are doing it in line with the 19th and early 20th century playbook that says, when nothing else works for us, appeals to white power and appeals to our ability to use violence to get what we want will work. And that is what they are doing.
So, Gustavo, that is what is being said in public. Then you have that leaked audio from the LA Council. And I think it's notable that it is anti-Black, anti-Indigenous comments coming from Latinos, a reminder of how much work there is to do in our own communities.
Absolute power corrupts, absolutely. And when you have Latinos who have long rightfully claimed discrimination, but pulling the same bull that our oppressors did, then have we really advanced as a society? And what really disturbs me, hearing Marjorie Taylor Greene talking about the Great Replacement theory, this is what people have been saying about Latinos in the American Southwest for decades, except they called it Reconquista. And now you have these council members talking about how can we get more Latino power? How could we block out Black power, Black political power in Los Angeles? And in the process, let's make fun of Latinos, indigenous folks, Oaxaqueños, and say that they're small and that they're ugly and all of that. It sets back our reputation back so much in Los Angeles. Now that people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and the Tommy Tubervilles, or Tuberville, however you say his name, and they can say, see, we told you so. We told you so. And by the way, these Latino politicians, they're Democrats, and they're supposedly on the liberal wing or progressive wing of the party. So when our own party's doing it, I could see where the cynicism that people have toward politics can seep in. And then when you hear stuff like that, I can see also why Latinos then say, you know what? Well, you're tapping into our darkest imaginations. Let's just go become Republican instead.
And some of what we're seeing, which is just also to sit out these elections. I'm going to come back to you, Gustavo, on Marjorie Taylor Greene. But Brittany, I want you to hear what Eddie Glaude said earlier on this network. Take a listen.
They have to find a Black Manchurian candidate like Herschel Walker, a walking stereotype who will do their bidding. I mean, damn, when are we going to finally leave this behind and try to be an actual a democracy?
Here's the thing. You have Republicans, Tom Cotton, Rick Scott campaigning for Walker tomorrow. So are they just okay with this?
Of course they are. Look, we can't let Kanye West off the hook. He's also participating in this kind of, stereotype of blackmail, being a blackmail supplicant to white power in the same way that Herschel Walker is. This is who they need black men to be. As I said, last week on Twitter, this is the kind of blackness that works for the Republican Party, one that is deeply anti-black in its own way. I think we have to tell the truth, Alicia. These folks don't want democracy. What they want is white rule. What they want is white power. Unfortunately, because of how we understand the history in this country, for a very long time, folks were able to have white power and call that democracy while it was actively excluding black folks, indigenous folks, Latino folk, Asian folk from the body politic. Now, because we have tools at our disposal, we are able to say, hey, we are here. We are part of we the people. You can't have a real democracy unless you include us. And I think the thing that is, if we want to be vulnerable, heartbreaking to many of us, is that when confronted with that truth in the aftermath of a civil war, World War II, which was fought in part with solidarity with Jewish folks, right, being decimated by Hitler, the fact that we know those things about our history and that these folks are still willing to say our money's on white power as the solution for the future of America, when we know that will have devastating consequences, is really hard to stomach if you are a person of color, because these folks are saying we actually want the future to not include you at best, and at worst, and at best, if it does include you, we want you to be clearly, legally, and in practice subordinate to us. That is what they want. They do not want democracy. They want right rule, and that's what they're voting for.
Well, Gustavo, I will layer on to that analysis some more recent history, and that is what we saw happen in El Paso. And I sort of always feel complicated about playing sound from Marjorie Taylor Greene, but I also think it's important for context to hear what it is she is arguing. I mean, we don't have to ask whether or not she knows the consequences of that language. We have all seen and lived through the consequences of that rhetoric. Gustavo.
We have been living this in California with, we people like to think of California as this progressive state. Oh, everything, this is progressive paradise, the California way, as Gavin Newsom says. But this is a very racist state. This is something that I've been writing my LA Times column for a long time. This is a state that's so racist that we discriminated and excluded white American citizens and called them Okies during the Great Depression. We had brigades, they call them bum brigades, out in the desert to make sure that these families didn't come in. That's how racist to the core they're at. It's all about power at the end. But what happens when people of color are now in those positions of power and continuing that? That's what's happening in Los Angeles. That's what has happened, sadly, almost anytime people of color get power. So when we talk about the American democracy, I'd love to say it's this grand experiment. I know our forefathers supposedly try to make it like it's always a living, breathing experiment. But you see how it actually has played out. It's a nasty way of doing things. It's like ethnic groups fighting for each other. Now that Latinos are a majority in Los Angeles County, a plurality in the state of California, I would hope that our leaders would want to act better than our previous oppressors. But as you saw with the audio that you have, we're not. Some of them are not. So what does give me hope is a younger generation of politicians, of activists, of groups are saying, no, we do care about democracy, but let's make a democracy for everyone, not just for the groups that are in power. Let's make real democracy,
Brittney Cooper and Gustavo Arellano, thank you both so much.